Good morning, students. This is the sixth lecture on Indigo. We have read that Gandhiji was summoned in the court. When Gandhiji reached there, he found the whole court black with peasants, means thousands of peasants came there in support. Thereafter, Gandhiji stated that he was guilty of disobeying the order, but he also gave the reason. Thereafter, after some days, Gandhiji was released from indigo sharecropping arrangement. Then he started his search work. Actually, his work of collecting more and more evidence against the British planters. While Gandhiji was doing so, he was summoned by the lieutenant governor of the province. Gandhiji thought he might be arrested, so he made a plan according to that for civil disobedience in case he would not return. But Gandhiji had four protracted interviews with the lieutenant governor. As a result, an inquiry commission was set up in indigo sharecropping arrangement matter. In that commission, British planters, British officers, and only Gandhiji was the representative of peasants. Means all the British planters were the members, British officers were the members, and from the side of poor peasants, only Gandhiji represented. But after months of inquiry, it was found that, or it came into view that a stake of evidence against the British planters was gathered. As a result, when the British planters could see that thousands and many evidences were against them, they became ready to refund the money. Thereafter, it was the problem how much. They knew that Gandhiji would demand the full repayment, but um, they stated means but Gandhiji demanded 50%. At this, they thought he would be adamant, he would not agree less than 50%, but they offered 25%. Gandhiji agreed at 25% of refund just because he had to break the deadlock. It is not this that Gandhiji was not questioned about it later on. He was questioned by people, obviously. People could say, if repayment could be done, if they had so much evidences, why didn't he demand for repayment of the full compensation? At this, later on, Gandhiji stated certain things which we have to read. Let's continue with the chapter. We are on page number 52. This settlement was adopted unanimously by the commission. Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige. This settlement means Britishers stated that they would return 25% of the compensation. Gandhiji agreed at that, and this settlement was adopted without any trouble. Unanimously means without any objection by the commission. Gandhiji explained why he agreed at 25% of compensation. One question can be asked: why did Gandhiji agree at uh, settling the arrangement at 25%? Gandhiji explained that the amount of refund was less important than the fact that landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige. Gandhiji gave an explanation that money was not important. Rather, this was the first time that British planters were ready to surrender in front of Indians. All over the world they went, but they were not defeated by anyone. They never accepted defeat. They never surrendered anywhere. This was the first time they surrendered not only money but also the part of their prestige. It was a matter of prestige. Therefore, as far as the peasants were concerned, the planters had behaved as lords above the law now. The law. Now the peasant saw that he had rights and defenders. He learned courage. Actually, from this incident, peasants learned courage. How? Before this, they never thought that they had rights. They never realized that they had also their rights for which they could go in court, for which they could challenge. But now, when Britishers surrendered their pride and settled, Indian peasants realized that they had also their rights. They could also challenge for that. It means they learned courage. They learned they had their own rights and they could challenge that. But before that, peasants considered them, sorry, not peasants, the planters considered themselves above law. They behaved as lords above law. I suppose up to this is clear. Events justified Gandhi's position. Events means what happened after that. It justified the action taken by Gandhiji. Gandhiji accepted 25% of refund. This is justified later on. How? Within a few years, the British planters abandoned their estates, which reverted to the peasants. Indigo sharecropping disappeared. Events justified Gandhi's position. Whatever happened later on, it justified how just within a few years British planters abandoned means left their estates, which reverted matlab came back to the peasants, which were returned to the peasants. Indigo sharecropping disappeared. Later on, the actions taken by Gandhiji um, was fruitful. Within a few years, the British planters left their estates, the estates they had settled in Champaran, and the land which belonged to peasants were returned to them. As a result, indigo sharecropping completely disappeared. Now, this was the political solution which Gandhiji had done. Later on, what were his philosophy? What were the efforts done by him to justify his ideology? Gandhi never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. Contented means satisfied. Gandhiji was never satisfied with political or economic solutions of an area. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages and wanted to do something about it immediately. He saw that Champaran villages were culturally and socially backward and he wanted to do something about that immediately. Immediately, we have also studied the word forthwith. He appealed for teachers. Mahadev Desai, Narhari Parikh, two young men who had just joined Gandhi as disciples as followers, and their wives volunteered for the work. Several more came from Bombay, Pune, and other distant parts of the land. Yes, beta. Gandhiji was never satisfied by only by his ideology was quite big. He not only included a social and economic solution of an area. He noticed that that area was culturally and socially backward. So he wanted to do something for its upliftment. And obviously, he found education to be the best tool to be culturally and socially uplifted. So he requested for certain volunteer teachers, certain teachers like Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parikh joined Gandhiji, who joined Gandhiji as disciple, uh, with their wives, volunteered for the work of teacher. Several more came from Bombay, Pune, and other distant parts of the world, far away parts of the land. Sorry, the land stands for India. Many other people from Bombay, from Pune, and other parts of India came there as volunteer teachers. Devdas, who was Gandhi's youngest son, arrived from the ashram, and so did Mrs. Gandhi. Mrs. Kasturbai Gandhi, and she with her youngest son came there. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages. Kasturbai taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. 6 primary schools were opened in nearby villages. What Gandhi's youngest son and Kasturbai, his wife, came there. What did she do there? Kasturbai taught the ashram rules and personal cleanliness and community sanitation. She taught the people of that area the importance of cleanliness and sanitation. Health conditions were miserable. Health conditions were miserable, so Gandhi got a doctor to volunteer his services for 6 months. 3 medicines were available: castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Anybody who showed a coated tongue was given a dose of castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine plus castor oil. Anybody with skin eruptions, any disease related to skin, received ointment plus castor oil. Not only teachers, not only Kasturbai, but also volunteer doctors came there to improve the health condition of the area. These medicines were provided to them, basically castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Gandhi noticed the filthy means dirty, state of women's clothes. He asked Kasturbai to talk to them about it. One woman took Kasturbai into her hut and said, "Look, there is no box or cupboard here for clothes. The sari I am wearing is the only one I have." When Gandhiji asked Kasturbai to talk to women about their cleanliness, one woman took Kasturbai to her hut and showed her that there were no cupboards, there were no boxes, just because they did not have another or other clothes to wear, another other sari to wear. She had that cloth which she was wearing only. During his long stay in Champaran, Gandhi kept a long distance watch on the ashram. He sent regular instructions by mail and asked for financial accounts. Once he wrote to the residents that it was time to fill in the latrine trenches and dig new ones, otherwise, the old ones would begin to smell bad. During Gandhi's long stay, Gandhiji did not put the work of ashram aside. He kept a long distant watch. Even once he sent instruction to ashram that old latrine trenches were filled, so they need to dig new one, otherwise it would smell bad. This is how Gandhiji emphasized on every minuteness of the things. Yes, beta. Now, page number 54. The Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life. What I did, he explained, was a very ordinary thing. I declared that the British could not order me about in my own country. First of all, beta, if we focus on the first line, the Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life. How? The Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life. How this was a turning point? Just because the Champaran episode was an attempt to reduce the distress of large number of poor peasants, and Gandhi was proud to be loyal to human beings. Thereafter, this event, which lasted for almost a year, made Gandhi popular nationwide. Now he became popular as an angel for the discarded. It was a turning point in Gandhi's life. The people came to know him as the angel of the discarded. I suppose this line is clear. What I did, he explained, was a very ordinary thing. I declared that the British could not order me about in my own country. Gandhiji stated it very simply, very clearly. He stated that I did nothing extraordinary. I only told the Britishers that they could not order me about in my own country. Obviously, suppose beta, someone comes to your house and starts ordering you. Someone who is not known to you, someone who is completely a stranger, and he starts ordering you, he starts making you or treating you as a slave, as a servant. What would be the result? You will throw him out now. Likewise, Gandhiji stated it very clearly that this is my house, this is my country, and I clearly mentioned this thing that Britishers could not order me about in my own country. But Champaran did not begin as an act of defiance. Defiance is disobedience. It grew out of an attempt to alleviate means lessen, reduce the distress of large numbers of poor peasants. This was the typical Gandhi pattern. His politics were interconnected with the practical day to day problems of the millions. His was not a loyalty to our abstractions means ideas. It was a loyalty to living human beings. Gandhiji did not start this event, Champaran event was not started to disobey. It grew out of an attempt. It only started with an attempt to alleviate, means to reduce the distress, the trouble of large numbers of poor peasants. and this was the style of Gandhi. Gandhi's philosophy, Gandhi's ideology was interconnected with his politics was interconnected with practical day-to-day problems of millions, and he stated it clearly that his loyalty was not to ideas. Abstractions means ideas. His loyalty was to living human beings. He did not want to do any act which would be faithful. Gandhiji only wanted to solve the problem of peasants, people. He did not want to show that he just had those ideas and he just wanted to prove that he had been working for those ideas. In everything Gandhi did, moreover, he tried to mold a new free Indian who could stand on his own feet and thus make India free. Everything, every action done by Gandhiji was only to mold a new free India. He just wanted to make new free Indians who could stand on their own feet, who could make India free. Early in the Champaran action, Charles Freer Andrews, the English pacifist who had become a devoted follower of the Mahatma, came to bid Gandhi farewell before going on a tour to duty to the Fiji Islands. Actually, this paragraph tells us about an incident. There was an English pacifist. Pacifist matlab one who works for humanity, one who works for peace. Charles Freer Andrews, English pacifist. He was a devoted follower of Mahatma Gandhi. When he had to go to Fiji Island on a duty, at that time, Gandhi's lawyer friends thought it would be a good idea for Andrews to stay in Champaran and help them. Gandhi's lawyer friends wanted Gandhiji to ask Charles Freer Andrews to remain in Champaran and help them. Andrews was also willing if Gandhi agreed, but Gandhi was vehemently opposed, strongly opposed. He said, "You think that in this unequal fight it would be helpful if we have an Englishman on our side?" Gandhiji opposed this thing. Gandhiji clearly stated that the lawyers thought it would be helpful for them if an Englishman would be on their side. This shows the weakness of your heart. Gandhiji stated that the thought that it would be beneficial for them to make Andrews stay in Champaran and help them shows the weakness of their heart. The cause is just, the cause for which they are working is just matlab fair, and you must rely upon yourself to win the battle. Gandhiji stated that the cause for which they were fighting was quite justifiable and they should rely means depend upon themselves to win the battle. They should be confident, they should be self dependent. You should not seek a prop. Prop means support in Andrews because he happens to be an Englishman. Gandhiji told them that they should not seek support from Andrews just because he was an Englishman. Obviously, this thought came into their mind that they were fighting a battle against Britishers, and if an Englishman would be on their side, he would be maybe he would provide them certain informations, he would be able to influence the British officers. This thought came into the mind of lawyer friends of Gandhiji. But Gandhiji told them freely and frankly that they should not depend upon Britishers to win the battle. just because the thing for which they were fighting was justifiable, and they should depend upon their self themselves. He had read our minds correctly, Rajendra Prasad comments, and we had no reply. Gandhi in this way taught us a lesson in self-reliance. Yes, in this way, Gandhiji was very correctly able to judge their mind. And obviously, lawyers did not have any answer to that question. Gandhiji taught them the lesson in self reliance. Self reliance, Indian independence, and help to sharecroppers were all bound together. How? Gandhiji went to Champaran to help the sharecroppers. ठीक है? He tried to make them self independent. And when they realized the importance of self independence, it was possible to get India free. This is all with the chapter Indigo. I hope students you are doing well. I have also sent you the question answers of the chapters. I hope and I wish you keep on learning the question answers. That's all with this chapter. Thank you.